Alright, I guess we're live now. So this one is on the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. This one, the Testament of Reuben. It reads, Reuben, the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah, the man of experience, counsels against fornication and points out the ways in which men are most apt to fall into error. The copy of the Testament of Reuben, even the commands which he gave his sons before he died in the 125th year of his life, 2 years after the death of Joseph his brother. When Reuben fell ill, his sons and his sons' sons were gathered together to visit him. And he said to them, My children, behold, I am dying, and go the way of my fathers. And seeing there Judah and Gad and Asher, his brethren, he said to them, Raise me up that I may tell my brethren. Raise me up that I may tell to my brethren and to my children what things I have hidden in my heart. For behold, now at length I am passing away. And he arose and kissed them, and said unto them, Hear, my brethren, and do ye, my children, give ear to Reuben your father, in the commands which I give unto you. And behold, I call to witness against you this day, the God of heaven, that you walk not in the sins of youth and fornication, wherein I was poured out, and defiled the bed of my father Jacob. And I tell you that he smote me with a sore plague in my loins for 7 months. And had not my father Jacob prayed for me to the Lord would have destroyed me. For I was 30 years old when I wrought the evil thing before the Lord, and for 7 months I was sick unto death. And after this I repented with set purpose on my soul for 7 years before the Lord. Wine and strong drink I drank not, and flesh entered not into my mouth, and I ate no pleasant food, but I mourned over my sin, for it was great, such as had not been in Israel. And now hear me, my children, what things I saw concerning the 7 spirits of deceit when I repented. 7 spirits, therefore, it says, 7 spirits, therefore, are appointed against man, and they are the leaders in the works of youth. And 7 other spirits are given to him at his creation, that through them should be done every work of man. The first is the spirit of life, with which the constitution of man is created. The second is the sense of sight, with which ariseth desire. The third is the sense of hearing, with which cometh teaching. The fourth is the sense of smell, with which tastes are given to draw air and breath. The fifth is the power of speech, with which cometh knowledge. The sixth is the sense of taste, with which cometh the eating of meats and drinks, and by it strength is produced, for in food is the foundation of strength. The seventh is the power of procreation and sexual intercourse, with which through love of pleasure sins enter in. Wherefore it is the last in order of creation, and the first in that of youth, because it is filled with ignorance, and leadeth the youth as a blind man to a pit, and as a beast to a precipice. Besides all these, there is an 8th spirit of sleep, with which is brought about the trance of nature and of death. With these spirits are mingled the spirits of error. First, the spirit of fornication is seated in the nature and in the senses. The second, the spirit of insatiableness in the belly. The third, the spirit of fighting in the liver and gall. The fourth is the spirit of obsequiousness and chicanery, that through officious attention one may be fair in seeming. The fifth is the spirit of pride, that one may be boastful and arrogant. The sixth is the spirit of lying, and perdition and jealousy, to practice deceits and concealments from kindred and friends. The seventh is the spirit of injustice, with which are thefts and acts of rapacity, that a man may fulfill the desire of his heart. For injustice worketh together with the other spirits by the taking of gifts. And with all these the spirit of sleep is joined, which is that of error and fantasy. And so perisheth every young man, darkening his mind from the truth, and not understanding the law of God, nor obeying the admonitions of his father, as befell me also in my youth. And now, my children, love the truth, and it will preserve you. Hear ye the words of Reuben your father. Pay no heed to the face of a woman, nor associate with another man's wife, nor meddle with the affairs of womankind. For had I not seen Bilhah bathing in a covered place, I had not fallen into this great iniquity. For my mind, taking in the thought of the woman's nakedness, suffered me not to sleep until I had wrought the abominable thing. For while Jacob our father had gone to Isaac his father, when we were in Eder, near to Ephrath in Bethlehem, Bilhah became drunk, and was asleep uncovered in her chamber. Having therefore gone in and beheld her nakedness, I wrought the impiety without her perceiving it, and leaving her sleeping, departed. And forthwith an angel of God revealed to my father concerning my impiety, and he came and mourned over me, and touched her no more. Wow. Reuben continues, Pay no heed, therefore, my children, to the beauty of women, nor set your mind on their affairs, but walk in singleness of heart in the fear of the Lord, and expend labor on good works, and on study, and on your flocks, until the Lord give you a wife whom he will that ye suffer not as I did. For until my father's death I had not boldness to look in his face, or to speak to any of my brethren because of the reproach. Even until now my conscience causeth me anguish on account of my impiety. And yet my father comforted me much, and prayed for me unto the Lord, that the anger of the Lord might pass from me, even as the Lord showed. And thenceforth until now I have been on my guard, and sinned not. Therefore, my children, I say unto you, observe all things whatsoever I command you, and ye shall not sin. For a pit unto the soul is the sin of fornication, separating it from God, and bringing it near to idols, because it deceiveth the mind and understanding, and leadeth down young men into Hades before their time. For many hath fornication destroyed, because though a man be old or noble, or rich or poor, he bringeth reproach upon himself with the sons of men, and derision with Beliar. For ye heard regarding Joseph, how he guarded himself from a woman, and purged his thoughts from all fornication, and found favor in the sight of God and men. For the Egyptian woman did many things unto him, and summoned magicians, and offered him love potions, but the purpose of his soul admitted no evil desire. Therefore the God of your fathers delivered him from every evil. Therefore the God of your fathers delivered him from every evil and hidden death. For if fornication overcomes not your mind, neither can Beliar overcome you. For evil are women, my children, and since they have no power or strength over man, they use wiles by outward attractions, that they may draw him to themselves. And whom they cannot bewitch with outward attractions, him they overcome by craft. For moreover, concerning them, The angel of the Lord told me and taught me that women are overcome by the spirit of fornication more than men, and in their heart they plot against men. And by means of their adornment they deceive first their minds, and by the glance of the eye instill the poison. And then through the accomplished act they take them captive. For a woman cannot force a man openly, but by a harlot's bearing she beguiles him. Flee therefore fornication, my children, and command your wives and your daughters that they adorn not their heads and faces to deceive the mind, because every woman who uses these wiles hath been reserved for eternal punishment. For thus they allured the watchers who were before the flood. For as these continually beheld them, they lusted after them, and they conceived the act in their mind, for they changed themselves into the shape of men, and appeared to them when they were with their husbands. And the women, lusting in their minds after their forms, gave birth to giants. For the watchers appeared to them as reaching even unto the heaven. Beware therefore of fornication, and if you wish to be pure in mind, guard your senses from every woman. And command the women likewise not to associate with men, that they also may be pure in mind. For constant meetings, even though the ungodly deed be not wrought, are to them an irremediable disease, and to us a destruction of Beliar and an eternal reproach. For in fornication there is neither understanding nor godliness, and all jealousy dwelleth in the lust thereof. Therefore I say unto you, ye will be jealous against the sons of Levi, and will seek to be exalted over them, but ye shall not be able. For God will avenge them, and ye shall die by an evil death. For to Levi God gave the sovereignty, and to Judah with him, and to me also, and to Dan and Joseph, that we should be for rulers. Therefore I command you to hearken to Levi, because he shall know the law of the Lord, and shall give ordinances for judgment, and shall sacrifice for all Israel until the consummation of the times, as the anointed high priest of whom the Lord spake. I adjure you by the God of heaven to do truth each one unto his neighbor, and to entertain love each one for his brother. And draw ye near to Levi in humbleness of heart, that ye may receive a blessing from his mouth. For he shall bless Israel and Judah, because him hath the Lord chosen to be king over all the nation. And bow down before his seed, for on our behalf it will die in wars visible and invisible, and will be among you an eternal king. And Reuben died, having given these commands to his sons. And they placed him in a coffin until they carried him up from Egypt, and buried him in Hebron in the cave where his father was. So that's the end of the Testament of Reuben, the firstborn son of Jacob. Now he brought up a lot of stuff. For instance, pay no what did he say? Pay no heed to the face of a woman, nor associate with another man's wife, nor meddle with the affairs of womankind. For had I not seen Bilhah bathing in the covered place, I had not fallen into this great iniquity. Right? And we know Genesis 35:22 corresponds with what happened. It says, and it came to pass when Israel dwelt in that land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. It says he was about 30 years old when he did this. So that's, that's something interesting. Bilhah was his father's concubine, but basically that was like his father's wife. And he says, had I not seen her bathing in a covered place, I wouldn't have fallen into this great iniquity. So we got to guard ourselves from seeing women in a light that's gonna, you see what I'm saying? In a sexual sense. And also David also saw a woman bathing and was taken by lust, by watching this woman bathe. 2 Samuel chapter 11. It came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. Verse 2. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? So not only are you watching her bathe herself, but she's also married. She's also married. So there we say, don't associate with another man's wife. Pay no heed to the face or beauty of a woman. Right? Pay no heed, therefore, my children, to the beauty of a woman. Right? But walk in singleness of heart and the fear of the Lord, and expend labor on good works, and on study, and on your flocks. And also at this time, David had multiple wives already. So, but that's another instance of how, you get to looking at the beauty of these women, especially when they're, bathing or naked or something like that, or wearing tight clothes, things that are revealing. You definitely gotta flee from that. And like he said, we gotta exhort our daughters and our women to dress appropriately and not be, as to keep their minds pure as well. It's not just, it says women are evil. It's not just that women are evil, but if we can try to keep our minds pure and try to keep their minds pure at the same time, then, but that's not the society or culture that we've been made to adopt and all those things. You see, from a very young age, in verse 7, it says, for a pit unto the soul is the sin of fornication, separating it from God and bringing it near to idols, because it deceiveth the mind and understanding, and leadeth down young men into Hades before their time. It says, for many hath fornication destroyed. For many hath fornication destroyed. This isn't something that's foreign to men. That's why in one of my last videos I said women are undefeated. A lot of stuff we do that a lot of stuff we do that's backwards or wrong or whatever it is, a lot of us do that in pursuit of women. We do a lot of messed up stuff in pursuit of getting a woman. And we don't care if she's married. We don't care if we're married. We don't care, it doesn't matter to us. No, in today's society. And that's what all the music is projecting. Well, not all of it. That's when I say all the music, that's what our music is projecting. Turning our women into whores and prostitutes and stuff like that. Turning our men into boys, really. Running after every female they see who got a fat ass. That's why they basically put pornography in these music videos. Because we're still like little boys who, oh man, we can't wait to see some ass. And that's a slippery slope in all honesty. And another one of the testaments, we're going to get to the testament of Joseph. And we're going to read about in verse 9 how he said, "For ye heard how regarding Joseph he guarded himself from a woman, and purged his thoughts from all fornication, found favor in the sight of God and men. For the Egyptian woman did many things unto him, and summoned magicians and offered him love potions, but the purpose of his soul admitted no evil desire." That's going to be at a later date, but women will do many things unto you, trying to get you to fall, trying to get you to transgress. Testaments of the patriarchs have a lot of good wisdom in them. A lot of good wisdom that, you can just match up with the scripts and, get some edification from. It says, "And command the woman likewise not to associate with men." If you wish to be pure in mind, guard your sense from every woman. We want to be pure in mind, body, soul. Not just on the outward. Not just on the outward. We want to be pure all the way through. We want to be clean all the way through. And fornication is a if you can get rid of that, then you well on your way. You know what I'm saying? That's something that attacks a lot of us, and I'm gonna say most of us at the youngest. Actually, I think it says in the first chapter. In the first chapter, the seventh. The seventh is the power of procreation and sexual intercourse, with which through love of pleasure sins enter in. Wherefore it is the last in order of creation, and the first in that of youth. That's the first thing as youth. That's the first thing that really gets the ball rolling. It is filled with ignorance and leadeth the youth as a blind man to a pit. I don't know about anybody else. I know I got hooked on pornography at 11 years old, 12 years old. So, that's why I can attest to this. Like, I know for a fact, like, it leads you as a blind man to a pit that a pit that you not gonna be able to climb out on your own. That's a fact. You're not gonna be able to climb out on your own. Psalms what? "119. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy word." You're not going to be able to pull yourself out of that pit of fornication alone. And it's a deep pit. I was digging myself deeper into the pit since I was 12 years old. I'm 26 now. In that instance, I saw how literally, like you said, like a blind man being led to a pit. That's what that. When I woke up, that's what it's. That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it's like. But we have a way to escape all of that. We don't have to be a slave to those things. We need to be teaching our young men, our young women, dress appropriately, modestly. Brothers, guard the sisters' minds. Sisters, guard the brothers' minds. You know, first of all, our children shouldn't be worried about sex and stuff like that at those young ages anyways. This culture is going to push this on them immediately. And then I'm telling you, the culture is going to push it on them immediately. And then all the music you're going to have them listening to is going to push it on them immediately. And then when they get to the indoctrination school that you're going to send them to, they're going to get made fun of because they not having, you see what I'm saying? So definitely Book of Reuben is good stuff to sit down with the young men and the young women about. Definitely. We need to be guarding ourselves from fornication and from lust. So that's pretty much the Testament of Reuben. The next one will be the Testament of Simeon. He's the second born, so we're going to get into the Testament of Simeon next. But there's an app, and I'm pretty sure online you can Google like the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs and stuff. You can find this stuff. But there's also apps that you can find. That's what I'm using here. I'm using it's called the Lost Books of the Bible. It's got Testament of the 12 Patriarchs in there. But I hope this was edifying. I hope there was some knowledge given out. Like Uncle Reuben said, I'm going to say the same thing like Uncle Reuben said. You know, pay no heed, therefore, to the beauty of women, nor set your mind on their affairs, but walk in singleness of heart and the fear of the Lord, and expand labor on good works, and on study, and on your flocks. With that, all praises to the Most High, to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Thank you for his knowledge, understanding, and his wisdom, and his truth. Give him thanks and honor and praise for his forgiveness and for his grace that he's bestowed upon us, and his mercy. We ask for his will to be done on heaven as it is on earth. We ask for his will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.